Hi guys, this is CMIDDLET here, and as the title suggests, I wanted to try my hand at making a Hwoarang tutorial for Tekken Tag 2. I've been using Hwoarang for a long time now. I've been maining him basically since around Tekken Tag. He's changed a lot since then, and I guess in my opinion, I think that Tekken Tag 2 is probably like the strongest Hwoarang has ever been in terms of his relative goodness compared to like the other characters in the game and everything. But anyway, to get things started, I want to go over some of the key moves out of just his regular stance. Hwoarang has 4 stances. He has just regular standing stance. He has right foot forward like this. He has left flamingo and right flamingo. So a big part of playing with Hwoarang and his strategy is getting in and out of flamingo, because that's where a lot of your mix-ups are going to come from. And a lot of the damage that he's going to deal is going to be coming out of flamingo. So, like I said, a big part of learning to play with him is getting in their face and getting in flamingo. Preferably, you want to get into flamingo with the advantage. So probably the easiest way to get into flamingo is after 1-2. So by doing 1-2 and then 3, he goes into left flamingo. So he does 1-2 and then goes into left flamingo. By doing 1-2-4, he goes into right flamingo. So I'm gonna get into stances and what he does, or what to do in flamingo in the next section or whatever. But in terms of key moves, just doing 1-2 in the flamingo, that's gonna be like one of the main tools you're gonna use with him. You can also just do 2 into flamingo, into either one, left or right. So some of his other moves are. See, this is why I'm making this tutorial, because some people online have been contacting me asking me about learning how to play Hwoarang. So that's one of the reasons I'm making this video. So anyway, some of his other moves, some of his other like quick pokes. 4-3 is really good. This is a natural combo. It's high mid. It's really fast. The 4 I think that's 11 frames. Check the frame data really quick. Yeah, it's 11 frames. And then also, if you hold forward after you press 3, then that takes you into left flamingo. So that's, like I said, a big part of him is like figuring out how to get into flamingo, preferably when whoever you're fighting is not expecting you to do that, so that you can go straight into a mix-up without them really kind of like knowing what happened. Okay, so yeah, this is really good. Takes 34 damage. It's really quick, and yeah, overall it's just like a really solid move. So another one is going to be down forward 4-3, and so this is his homing move. And the down forward 4 is 14 frames, so it's really quick. And this is one of those moves that kind of, I guess, solidifies Hwoarang as a character, because if he didn't have this move, he would get raped by certain characters that are really good at sidestepping. Because this move is really quick, and because when you do the entire string, this is mid-high, so and that high obviously is duckable. It doesn't jail or anything, so it's it's good, but it's not so good that you can just abuse it, because if that jailed, that would just be something that you could do all day long. But you can't just throw it out there like an idiot or anything, because they can duck the second one. But if somebody's sidestepping a lot, if somebody was trying to, I guess, abuse sidestepping, it takes away enough life that it'll make them think twice. And in general, if you're playing against somebody that's not ducking that second hit, then it's just a good poke. Also, without even doing the second hit, it's still just a good poke. It still has like pretty good recovery just as a move by itself, just the down forward 4. It's not a bad move, just that in and of itself. It's safe, and let me see, what is that? On block, that is the frame data sheet doesn't know. So it's pretty safe. You know, you definitely can't get hit after that. So okay, so going into some other moves, you got down forward 3, which is garbage by itself. That's meant to be followed up by 4, and also down forward 3-3. So down forward 3-4 takes you into right flamingo. This move is something that I use a lot, but at the end of the day, this is a really dangerous move, because even if the down forward 3 connects, they can still duck the 4, which I hate. I really wish that Namco would have made this move. You know, I can understand like if you block the 3 being able to duck the 4, but I really wish that if they made it to where if the 3 connects, then the 4 would jail, so they would have to, at least they would have to block it, and you couldn't just duck it. You know, when I'm playing people, I get a lot of people that when I start going in the string, they just start mashing down 1 because, you know, sometimes people just don't know what to do, or they're just like, they just want the, you know, they just want the strings to stop, so they just mash down 1, and unfortunately that works a good amount of time if you do this move, because regardless if that, like I said, if that 3 connects or whatever, they can still duck that 4, so be aware of that doing that move. But for people that do like to duck, just mash down 1 when they, after you do down forward 3, there's that move, down forward 3-3, which knocks you back, and you get a guaranteed. Oops, did it wrong. I did it wrong again. Wow. Holy crap. I am failing so bad right now. Okay, I can't believe that took that long to get. You get a free forward 3-3, this move. And I can't press buttons right now. Whoa, what is going on? Okay, there it is. All right. There we go. Oops, I'm gonna do that. Okay, I had a little brain fart moment right there where I couldn't press the 3 button. But anyways, so yeah, that move is good for that, but unfortunately that move is not safe. I forget exactly how unsafe it is. Let me check. It's -14, so that's pretty unsafe. So you want to be careful with that. Don't just throw that out there like it's a, you know, like it's just a poke or anything. That's I guess to be used when you've got a good idea that somebody's you know, gonna try and down 1 or something. Once again, this is also something that's good after a 1-2. So if somebody, because like I said, you can do bam. Oops, you can do that right after you go into flamingo, because that 3-4 also comes out of flamingo, and so does the 3-3. So after 1-2, you can do that. And you know, so when people kind of just mash down 1, that's what that's for, to catch that. So what else? Let's see. So another move inside of his regular stance is up forward 3-4. This move I used to use this move all the time in Tekken 6. It was kind of like one of the main moves I used to close the distance, because one of the problems with Hwoarang is that his range is garbage. So, you know, you want to get in with Hwoarang and stay in and just try and like mix it up really close. That's kind of like his, you know, his range is like really is, you know, right in their face. And it can, you know, when you're playing against good people that know how to play against Hwoarang, you know, a very annoying but tactic that really works is to just stay out of his range, is to just kind of you know, kind of just to keep turtling and, you know, go in, take pot shots, and then get back out. And most of his quick moves are all high, except for that move, which is really good. But I guess most of the things that go into the most dangerous stuff with Hwoarang, which is like a lot of his strings and stuff, you know, it all starts out high. So it can be dangerous to just run up to somebody and start doing high moves because they can while standing you. So I used to use this move a lot. In Tekken 6, this move was safe. Now, in Tekken Tag, it's only -10, so it's not like really unsafe. But the main fact is that now, if this move is blocked, even if you don't get punished like with a 1-2, which honestly doesn't happen a whole lot unless you're just, you know, doing it like crazy, being an idiot. The thing is just that if it's blocked, there's really, you just have to, you know, you can't do anything afterwards except just block. If you press a button, if you try and sidestep, if you try and backdash, if you try and do anything, you're gonna get lit up if the opponent does basically anything. So, you know, that's kind of why this move has lost a lot of its usefulness. I still use the move like quite a bit. Once again, because it's a good thing for catching people that like to down one a lot, because it crushes low. So, you know, that's good. And then if it connects, then I think it still doesn't have like super great frame advantage even if once it connects, but it does have frame advantage. It's like +1, I think, once it connects, which isn't like, you know, like I said, a whole lot of frame advantage, but that's enough to sidestep. That's enough to, you know, just jab. That's enough to, you know, like a lot of people when they get hit with that, they down one. So I just do it, you know, again, basically, if you just do it a couple times in a row, if you're playing against somebody that likes to down one. So it's good for that, and then it's also good for, you know, if they down one, you can also do it and then sidestep or into launchers and all sorts of stuff. So it's really good for that. Also, you can do it out of Flamingo. That's another thing to catch people that mash down one after you go into Flamingo. So let's see what else we got. Let's see. Okay. You got down forward 2, which is going to be one of his punishing launchers. It's like 15 frames. And that can punish a lot of stuff. So, you know, you'd have to go through, I'm not going to go into, you know, what moves. You can just go through frame data and see, but it's a 15 frame launcher, kind of a staple for, you know, punishing anything that's, you know, -15 or more. It's also good off of a sidestep. So, you know, that's kind of just generic. That's basically the same down forward 2 that a whole lot of characters have. But it's a really good move. But you know, it's not a whole lot to say about it. It's safe. Doesn't launch crouching, which kind of sucks. But so yeah, does that if you're crouching. Lame, but whatever. Overall, it's definitely a solid move. Let's see. Oh, so yeah, you got forward 2. Now this move is this is a move that I use all the time, but when I play a lot of other people that play Hwoarang, you know, I see that a lot of people don't use this move that much. And this move is freaking awesome. This move is like really good. It's really good off of a sidestep to Hwoarang's right, especially. The move, it seems like it has like a little bit of a high crush in it. Not like you can just like do it and it'll just duck jabs or anything. But if you do anything that has up to, I'd say, like -3, and you know, so like this down forward and 1-2 that Hwoarang has is like it's -3 on block. So if you did that and then sidestep and forward 2, if they were to jab right after, you know, you did this, then you do sidestep forward 2, then that'll catch them like every single time. If they did 1-2 afterwards, and so, or if they did anything slower than that, definitely that's not a homing move. So yeah, it's really good off of a sidestep. So like as I was talking about earlier with the up forward 3-4, you know, like that's something that catches people a lot. And after this move connects, the move is safe by the way on block, but after it connects, it's +5. So that means it's +5 and you're in right foot forward, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But you're right in their face, you're in right foot forward, and you've got a +5 frame advantage. So that's a really good position to be in with Hwoarang. You can, you know, you've got a lot of really good options if you're in that position. So that's that move. Also, we've got back 2, which is high, it's 13 frame, just really quick, and the main power of this move is catching them on counter hit. As a 13 frame move, you can definitely counter hit people with this move a lot if you catch them with it, and it's also good off of a sidestep because it has a natural built-in sidestep to Hwoarang's left, and if you sidestep and then do it, it's like it gives like a pretty, you know, big sidestep, so you can end up on their side, which isn't super useful for that much, but because if they just hold back, they'll kind of like auto-orient themselves back towards you. But overall, like I said, the main thing you're going to want to do is try and counter hit people with that move, because after that you get, you know, a full combo, which I just missed, of course. Yeah, so you know that's a good amount of damage for that. So that's a pretty good move. It's quick, it's high, it's safe. You know, it's something good to throw out for somebody if they're just like being too aggressive. And speaking of counter hits, we got forward 1-2. This move doesn't have good range, but that's not really what it's for. It's for counter hitting. So as I'm going to explain a little bit later, Hwoarang has a lot of moves that give him frame advantage. So, you know, a big part of his strategy is catching people in frame traps. And this move is going to be one of those moves that really messes people up if you catch them with it on counter hit. It gives them that kind of, you know, stagger and fall down stun, which leads into big combos. So you can do a lot of damage off of a counter hit forward 1-2. That's my combo that I like to do with my characters. But you know, depending on who your tag partner is, you can do, you know, whatever combo, but it's pretty good. And it's not super hard to catch people with that. I guess that'll lead me into the next move, which is wild running or forward 3. That move, and on block, that move has +7 frame advantage. And so a good thing that I like to do is that and then that, because that's basically an unbreakable combo. So like you can't down one, you can't jab, you can't do anything, you've got to just stand there and block. You actually can sidestep, so be aware of that, because in this the forward 1-2 does not track. So if they sidestep with really good timing after the wild running 3, then yeah, they'll get out of the way of this. But if they try and press a button, so you know, which a lot of people get hit with that and they try and down one, or they you know different times people press something, because you mix that up with doing that and then, you know, going into all other kinds of stuff like just whatever, just doing any kind of mix up that you want to do, and you know, so then they kind of start to, hopefully the point is that you want to get them into the mindset of, oh, I want to hit him after he does this, because he just does a bunch of slow moves afterwards, and then that's when you hit him with that, and you know, you counter hit him. So that's the main place I use that move. You can also use it after you land a jab out of flamingo, which I'll get into later, but basically this jab, it might not look like much, but that jab is actually +5 on block. Obviously, people that have a lot of experience in Tekken know this, but it's definitely something that what is he talking about? I'll get to him later. It's definitely something that will no, I can't accept right now. What was I saying? I'm losing my train of thought. I forgot what I was saying, but yeah. So this move, good for counter hit. Oh yeah, I was talking about the out of flamingo that one. So it's +5, good to catch people. This move is 15 frames. So if someone were to jab, like as soon as this move lands, as soon as they block it, then you'd actually trade with this move. But if they hesitate for a split second, then they're gonna get counter hit. So so that's another place where you can use it. Also, just the fact that if they duck, if they do whatever else, then you get the counter hit on that. Let's see what else. Okay, so we got back 4. Once again, similar to what I was saying with down forward 4. This move kind of solidifies Hwoarang as a character. It's one of those moves where it's like if he didn't have this move, there would definitely be something missing with him, because like I said, it's hard to close the distance with Hwoarang, so because his range is kind of garbage. So this move has good range. It's mid, it's safe, it leaves you in right foot forward, it knocks down on counter hit, so it wall splats, which is great. I said it's quick, but let me see exactly how quick it is. I think it's like 14 frames or something along those lines. What is it? It is... No, okay, it's a lot slower than that. It's like 16 to 17 frames. Okay, well, it's a lot slower than 14, but it's a good move. It's safe. It's like -7 or 8, so not a whole lot you can do afterwards. But it does have that pushback, so you're not. It's -7 or 8, but you're not like right in their face. So that's pretty good. But yeah, overall, that's just a nice, solid mid that you could just you can definitely throw that out there and just kind of to keep people on it. Let's see what else we got. Oh, okay. So we got this move, up forward 4-4-4. But you can also do up forward 4, up forward 4-4, and up forward 4-4-4. So I didn't used to use this move really at all, because I always thought to myself like, oh, like it's so predictable, like people just low parry that low kick, and so I didn't really want to do that move. And then I came and I started. I was actually playing another pretty good Hwoarang player that I know, and he did that move a lot, and I kept trying to low parry that last low, and it wouldn't ever do it. And I was, complaining and, raging online, talking about the lag or whatever. Come to find out, you actually cannot low parry that last kick if you block the first 2. So if you block these first 2, then you can't low parry that last kick. You can only block it. So once I found that out, I tried to start to integrate that into my game more, because I haven't used it for so long. It's like I still... it's not like a habit to use that move. But this is a solid move, actually. So, like I said, Hwoarang's distance is to be right in their face. If somebody's kind of, just turtling like they're just standing there, this is something that is good to just kind of throw it in to mix it up. The other thing is, like I said, you can just do the first 2, and then you're in, oops, not that. You're in right flamingo right in their face, and you can do whatever else. And because there's a low move at the end of the string, then you can go like high mid. So you can mix that up. It's kind of slow though, so you but it's just a good mix up, because it's keeping them kind of guessing, because you can do that, and then they're like, oh, the low's not coming, and then you go low. Oops, you don't do that. Oh man, I'm really having bad inputs right now. and then you go low anyway. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. Because with strings like this, you know, like people are looking for it, looking for that low, and then when they don't see it, they'll usually like kind of just like, you know, duck and then come back up really quick, and then that's when you do the, you know, the new low. Okay, so that's that move. Let's see. You got up 3-4, which is, you know, one of the key, I guess, low crush moves. So this, once again, is good for people that are, you know, I guess just doing any sort of low hit. This is basically Hwoarang's orbital heal. It's not as good as Brian's, but, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, when this move connects, you get full combo. With pretty good damage. You can do this as well. I like to opt for that other combo just because this move kind of puts you far back, and just in matches, a lot of times this too will miss. So I go for the thing that is more dependable, which is the right foot forward one. That little chop. But yeah, this move is, you know, it's pretty good. It's safe on block, and it's good for just crushing lows, basically. This is kind of generic down forward punches. This is down forward 1 and down forward 1 plus 2. Down forward 1 is +0 on block, so you know, so it's pretty good to as something that you can do and then, you know, jab afterwards. You know, obviously if somebody were to jab you right after you did it, then you'll trade. But most of the time it'll beat it out if you're doing it, because people have to. It's like your brain needs a little time to react to the fact that you just did that. They would have to know what you were gonna do to be able to like actually beat you out with that. Also, because it's +0, it's good to do that and sidestep if they were trying to do moves right afterwards, which, you know, most people honestly aren't. Most people are not gonna like just try and hit you right after that. Anyway, so then down forward 1-2 is -3 on block. So not as good to do things after that, but it is good for sidestepping afterwards. So it's a good move to just kind of like throw in there, because so many, you know, all Hwoarang players are gonna be, you know, kind of spamming strings and going 1-2 into flamingo and doing all that kind of stuff. So it's good to just mix that into, you know, down forward 1, down forward 1-2 in there as well sometimes, to keep people from, I guess, responding in the most generic ways in how they do that. Alright, so I think that I'm gonna stop there with his. Let me just think for a second if I forgot anything in terms of his. Oh yeah, there's that. So this is 1-1, 3-3. And yeah, this is a good little poke, honestly. Like, it's kind of Tekken, you know, Tekken 3. It's like all the way back from Tekken 3, but it still works pretty well. Like, if I can actually do it, my fingers are not very fast today. But yeah, so you can throw in the, because it's so old, it's like something that everybody's seen before. So when you do 1-1, it's almost, it catches a lot of people, because it seems like a lot of people are thinking, oh, he's not gonna actually go through with the whole combo, because it's so old and because everybody's seen it before. It actually works a good amount of the time. If the 3 connects, the second hit is guaranteed. That's a natural combo on the kicks. And then also, you know, if it's something that you caught them with, you know, once or twice, then you can do, you know, 1-1, down forward 1, 1-1, down forward 2. And, you know, it's just it's a good little poke to throw out there every now and then. And it takes off a nice chunk of life if it does connect. So let me see how much does just the kicks connect, because chances are that's the thing you're actually going to catch them with. 37. So yeah, that's a nice chunk of life. Okay. Oh, you know what? Well, I guess I think the crouch dash stuff should be maybe its own section. So I'll leave that out. I guess there's a 4-3-4, which is whatever. It's kind of generic kick there that leads into a combo. Hunting Hawk. Ah, yes, that is the name of it. So yeah, there's Hunting Hawk. I don't really have a lot to say about that. It's a good move. Low crush. Goes into a combo. I don't really do it straight off of the ground very much. I do it out of flamingo, like that, to catch people that are down wanting. It's gonna be one of the main things. I guess if I just really know somebody's gonna down one, then I do that. Like if it's kind of a question in my head whether they're gonna do it, then I'll usually do the up forward 3-4 out of flamingo. So anyway, that's that. Oh, one more thing I guess I want to talk about is this move, which is up forward 2. And once again, this is not like a staple move, but it's a good move that you can throw out every now and then. You can do it on the crouch dash, and it's just good if if somebody's just standing there blocking, because you can do that and then you can throw them. You can do that and then just go into whatever. It's plus, I forget, a lot, like 5, somewhere between like 5 and 7. But yeah, it's definitely like they cannot hit you after they block that move. It gives them a pretty heavy guard stun. So yeah, you can see that. Okay, so now let me see how long have I been going on so far? I'm not sure. Whatever. Anyways, so let's get into now, I guess, the main thing that you wanna, one of Hwoarang's main offensive tools, which is his flamingo stances. So you can go into flamingo by pressing forward 3 or forward neutral 4 for right flamingo. And the way that I think about his 2 flamingo stances is, I think that the left flamingo stance, I basically consider this the poking flamingo, and right flamingo is the launching flamingo. Just because, so the some of the key moves that you're going to use out of left flamingo is going to be the 3 mix-ups, I guess, because you can do 3 into just a million threes. You can do 3-4. 3-3, like we talked about earlier. 3-3-3-3 for that. You can do 3-3-3-3 forward 4. Goes into that. Okay, so then also there's down 3-4, which actually I should have talked about for his regular stance stuff. That's actually really important. Okay, I didn't talk about any of his lows now that I think about it. Let's take a step back before we get into flamingo. Okay, so his low moves, Hwoarang's low moves. So we've got down back 3, high, like nice, quick, low. It's punishable but not launch punishable, and high crushes. Very good. Good distance on that one. Holy crap, I didn't talk about back 3. Okay, I forgot a few things. I'll talk about them now. Back 3 is like Hwoarang's main, like one of Hwoarang's main launchers. So that was a big move that I forgot about there. But yeah, back 3, I think it's 16 or 17 frames. 17 frames. And yeah, this is gonna be a big punisher for a lot of different moves. So this is the move to like punish. You know, just whenever somebody does some sort of slow or move that just has like crappy recovery, it's like back three, and you get all sorts of combos off of that, depending on who your tag character is. And yeah, you can get all sorts of combos with Hwoarang by himself off of that. So yeah, back three is definitely a staple move. Sorry, I forgot about that. Okay, anyways, back to low moves. So we got down back three. We got down 3-4, which is kind of a big deal. That move is really good. And then you got down 3-3, which is also really awesome. Both of these are natural combos in terms of the low hit and the high hit. So as long as that low hit connects, then the high hit's guaranteed. And both of those moves are really, really good, but at the same time, both of those moves are really, really risky. You know, depending on who you're playing, basically, if you're playing against somebody good, then if they see, you know, if they guess that you're going to do that move, then you are about to get punished big time. Especially if you're playing against somebody that has a launching while standing move, you're about to lose like 1/2 to 2/3 of your life if they guess correctly. So there is that. But on the other hand, the move is really quick. It's not something that really you can see. You just have to guess that they're gonna do it, and you know, hopefully you're, you know, not being too predictable with it. And you know, just about every Hwoarang player uses these moves constantly. When you've got the alternative of like a move like back three, or you know, skyrocket, just frame skyrocket, down forward two, and you know, a bunch of other stuff. Oops, I forgot about that move. This is, how do you say that? 3-4. But basically, slide from 3 to 4 to do this move. Safe mid. I usually use this as a whiff punisher. But yeah, that's a really good move too. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, these moves are gonna be kind of a staple. So I guess the key thing is that one of them puts you in left flamingo stance, one of them puts you in right flamingo stance. So it all just depends on which flamingo stance you want to go into to kind of decide which one you want to do. Okay, you've got down 4-4, which is that. Launches on counter hit. So if the first hit hits on counter hit, then that whole thing's all guaranteed. What else? Okay, yeah, I think that's it as far as his lows out of regular standing position. Now, okay, back to Flamingo. So first we just talked about you know, Flamingo, left Flamingo 3, which goes into, like I said, several things. So if you do left Flamingo 3 and hold forward, then he just goes right back into Flamingo, and you can, you know, this is just an infinite combo. You can just do that forever. You can do left Flamingo 1. Alright, first I'm just going to talk about left Flamingo. So you can do left Flamingo 1, left Flamingo 2, left Flamingo down forward 3, left Flamingo down 4, left Flamingo back 4, left Flamingo up forward 1-2, left Flamingo up 3, up forward 3-4, left Flamingo up forward 4, and that's basically, nope, left Flamingo back 3, that move, which is very good for if you somehow got a Flamingo and they're kind of far away from you, or if they're trying to sidestep. And then left Flamingo forward 3, which this is one of my favorite moves. that is one of those things that catches people if they're trying to interrupt. So, going into Flamingo, there are, I guess when you're playing against somebody, for every single thing that somebody can do to try and, I guess shut this stance down, there is an answer. Like, there's an answer that Hwoarang has to deal with that thing. So there's a lot of different stuff that you can do to escape, when Hwoarang starts going into strings or, whatever he's going to do. But for any one of those things, like I said, there's something you can do about it. So, like, let's say if I wanted to do, I did 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, or whatever. I did 1, 2, 3, 1. Well, you can sidestep the. Actually, let's do this. So you can sidestep the 3. Right there. Oh, let's try that again. Okay, so you can sidestep the 3, and you can sidestep if I did if I just did Flamingo 1, then obviously you can just duck that. But if you do Flamingo forward 3, if you try and sidestep, then that will catch you. So I tried to sidestep. You can't really see it because he just gets hit. So yeah, so that'll catch you if you try and sidestep. But obviously you can just duck it. If you try and interrupt, also this will catch you. And if you hit that on counter hit, that's a launch. So 1, 2, forward 3 is uninterruptible by a high or mid move. Obviously they can do high crush moves or just down 1 and that'll connect, or they can just duck and do nothing, and then while standing he'll knock the crap out of you. But like I said with Hwoarang, you have to kind of, it's a gamble basically. When you go into Flamingo, it's like you're always gambling, and you just have to try and figure out what they're gonna do. So that's what you do if they're trying to interrupt you with jabs or something. And if they're being really predictable, then go ahead and finish the string and launch them. Now, if they're ducking, then like I said, you can just do 3. You can do down forward 3. You can do 2. You can do 2, 2. Which this move, left flamingo stance, 2, 2. Right flamingo stance, 1, 2. In previous Tekkens, this move was kind of useless. This is basically the start of the 10 hit string, but it was useless on its own as a I guess solo move before Tekken Tag 2. The properties of it have changed in this game, so now this is a natural combo. If the 2 connects, then the 1 is guaranteed. The other thing is that the 1 now has this, decent pushback right there. So if it does connect, it also pushes you back, which pushes you out of jab range, pretty much for the opponent. So, and it also has plus, what was it? The frame data doesn't show it, but I tested it. I think it was around like plus 4 or 5. I think it was 4. I think it was plus 4. Once it connects. So you've got a little bit of space in between. You've got some frame advantage. So you've got a lot of options of different things that you can do. Right after that you can jab, but like I say, you're a little bit out of jab range, so you might not want to do that. But it'll still connect. But if they were holding, back, then that jab will whiff. But there's a lot of different things you can do. It's a good range to do a skyrocket if it connects. Because, most people aren't, after they just got hit with something, aren't just going to, like, randomly start pressing buttons to try and hit you. Because at least with a lot of, the way I play, I might start going into more strings that ultimately start with a high move. So it's conceivable that somebody might want to duck after this. So that's why a skyrocket is a good option after that. So yeah, so that's gonna be like some of the basics of left flamingo stance. You got down 3-4, like I said, which is gonna be kind of one of the key lows to keep a string going. And then there's the launching low, which is a down 4 here, which leads into pretty big combos. And, you know, whatever, with whoever your other character is, you know, you have your combos. But, you know, this low is, it's not, you know, it's not fast, but it's fast enough to catch people sometimes. It's not really something I'd say that's good to throw in as a mix-up. It's not like you can really just do that move like, oh, am I going to go mid or am I going to go low? It's more like a thing that you throw out, I guess, to be tricky. It's something that you need to do when somebody's not. It's hard to explain. To say, I was gonna say to when they are not expecting you to go low, but I guess that's kind of the definition of a mix-up. But yeah, in terms of like for the mix-up of, am I gonna go high and get frame advantage? Am I gonna go mid to catch you ducking? Am I gonna go low to catch you standing? That's not really a contender for the low option. It's more, oh yeah, I forgot about that move. This is left flamingo down back 3, and it knocks down on counter hit. And you get a free 4-4-3, which I just remembered I never went over that move. 4-4-3, really awesome. +5 on block, leaves you in right foot forward. Right out of jab range. So yeah, that move is awesome. You can also do it out of crouch dash. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of the basics of left foot forward. I mean, left flamingo stance. So now, right flamingo stance, the launching flamingo. We've got down forward 4. Which leads into big combos. Oh, that's not gonna do that. And then you've got back 3, right before back 3, which also leads into big combos. Picture. So down forward 4 is safe. Back 3 is, I forget exactly the frame data. It's not safe. Let's see. Then you've got down 3, and then down. I mean, that's a down 4. I'm sorry. Down 4. Down 4-4. Down 4-3. So, okay, so the down 4-4 gives you a really heavy guard stun, and yeah, you can pretty much do, you got the opportunity, I guess, to do whatever you want after that move connects, because it gives you like a really, really heavy guard stun. So yeah, they're not going to be doing anything. So that's why that move is good. And then, but that hits high, so they can just duck it, and that's what that's for. That is not safe. That is, I think it's just jab punishable. I forget exactly the frame data. I want to kind of speed this up a little bit. so I'm not gonna. I mean, you guys can look at the frame data yourselves. So, yeah, those moves are pretty awesome. Then also by pressing both kicks, you can switch flamingo stances, like so. And honestly, the main place where I use this is after 3-4. So, I forgot about that little jumping kick. In Tekken 6, Hwoarang had this move basically was also in right flamingo. So you could just keep on doing that and then do it with the other foot all day long, which I used to do and get all sorts of hate mail, which I love. But now you have to switch flamingos to just keep the string going. And it happens, you can do it fast enough to where, you know, people usually don't try and hit you in between. Because, once again, like I said, when people get hit with something, the tendency is not to just start pressing buttons. It's like, so, usually they just, like, are gonna press back. So, you have enough time to switch flamingo stances and do something else. And because you can do, you know, like some really fast options like 4 or 3 out of it, it would be dumb to just start randomly pressing buttons right after you got hit with say like a down 3-4, because this move, once it connects, it has like crazy frame advantage. So you don't want to press buttons, because then you just get launched by something like down 4-4 and then half your life is gone. So yeah, that's really good. You also have down back 4. It's similar to the left flamingo stance, down back 3. Like that, you get a free 4-4-3. What else? The big sweep, which is down 3 in right foot forward. So the launching sweep. Oh yeah, just regular old 2. You can also do 2-1, which is a double punch. You can also do 2-4. You can also do 2-3. Oop. 2-3. There we go. So those are right foot forward moves, but you can do them out of flamingo and right foot forward, which is really awesome. Actually, those are all really good moves, really good pokes to keep the pressure on. Let's see what else is there. Right foot forward, I think. Oh yeah, there's these kicks, which I honestly do not use that much. I have one use for them that doesn't really work that well, which is at the wall, because they kind of come out, you know, they obviously is wall splats. And down forward 3, as well as left flamingo stance down forward 3, and right flamingo stance down forward 4, both bound. So regardless of which one you wall splat them with, then you can just bound with the down forward, whatever, whichever stance you're in. So yeah, okay, so that's a quick overview of the flamingo stances, and then we have right foot forward to finish off the stances. So right foot forward is a really good stance. The frame advantage that Hwoarang gets off of just kind of regular stuff is really good. So a right foot forward 2, for example, this random, just his regular jab, which is 10 frames, on block, this is +2. So, like I said, if people are not familiar with frame data, which, you know, pretty much all good people really are, I mean, all really good people are, but if people aren't familiar with it, and also just in the heat of the game, you know, sometimes you can definitely, you know, not be thinking about stuff and not be thinking that when you just block this quick little jab that you're at a +2 disadvantage. So like there's definitely all sorts of stuff where, you know, this is just really good for keeping pressure on with Hwoarang and just doing, you know, all sorts of strings all day long because you know, he has really good frame advantage from a lot of stuff in the stance. Okay, so there's also this move back 2, which I think that this is +0 on block. And by the way, I mean, I'm not even mentioning what this is on once it connects. I mean, it's plus a lot. It's like +8 or something like that, if it actually connects. Because I guess the more, kind of like the more important thing, it's like obviously people aren't going to be, I mean, people shouldn't be trying to, you know, do anything or move if this lands and connects. So I guess the most important thing is like, you know, what does it do on block? So since it's +2, you know, like I said, you can do more moves to try and counter hit. You can also sidestep, and anything but a homing move is gonna, you know, fly right past you. So it's really good to, you know, for that to after that to, you know, sidestep or whatever. But anyways, also you got back 2 out of right foot forward, which gives you kind of a let's see, what do you call that? Pretty heavy guard stun, but it's actually, it looks worse than it actually is. It's actually only +0, I think. So if you do this and, you know, basically only a 10 frame jab will beat it out, and that's only because the opponent recovers crouching. So other than a down 1, which would be 10 frames, the fastest move they can do is an 11 frame while standing kick after they've blocked this. So because they're doing an 11 frame kick and you're doing a 10 frame jab, then, you know, you'll beat them out with that, which I do that all the time. And it works really well to go like so that's actually a good little thing for pressure. But so we got also right foot forward, down forward 4. So this kick is also really good because if you hold forward, it goes into right flamingo. And I guess the flamingo stance mix-ups that come after that, they come out really, really fast. So so basically he can do anything that you can do in a right foot forward, obviously, and it comes out, like I said, really fast. Most of these are uninterruptible. So you've also got this is right foot forward, forward, 4-3, and this move gives the opponent such a heavy guard stun that actually moves are guaranteed after this connects. So back 3 is guaranteed. Typically the one you're gonna do though is 2 back 4. And that's guaranteed if they actually block that. The thing is, you can duck the high hit, but you know, it's one of those things that you can just throw out every now and then and catch somebody by surprise. And it's great at the wall because if you got somebody on the wall and you're already like adding pressure and they're trying basically not to duck because, you know, they don't want to get wall splatted. Then you catch them with that move, and you don't screw it up like I'm doing about 1,000,000 times in a row, and then that wall splats them basically, and then you get some crazy combo that takes all their life. Okay. I'm actually going to pause this video for a second, just because this file is getting really big, and I kind of want to figure out where I'm at in terms of how long I've been doing this, because I've been kind of blabbering on and on. So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm about an hour in. That's not too bad. It's a lot of stuff to go over. So we were in right foot forward, and let me see. So he's got this little string, which I almost never use, all the way up to that third one, because you're giving away your frame advantage, and that move, that third hit just doesn't really have good properties. So if I was gonna want to do something like that, I'd probably do those two, and then one of the other down forward, because you have better. It's not, obviously that's not unbreakable, but it almost is. It's pretty close. So because those are both 13 frames, whereas this is obviously an unbreakable combo. But yeah, it kind of sucks. So let's see. Also, we've got a back 4, which crushes high. It is not safe. I think it's just 1-2 punishable though. It might be maybe minus like 11. Yeah, I'll let you guys look stuff like that up. But yeah, it's not safe. But it's a good, it's a nice solid high crush. It's good after a left flamingo stance down forward 3. Lots of people like to jab after that. Which, by the way, this move is +0. So you're basically kind of on equal footing right afterwards. So if you throw out a jab and they also start jabbing, you guys will just exchange. But if somebody just starts to jab right after this, then you got some better options. If you a little bit more risky, but a little bit more payoff is, like I said, that back 4. But you can also just sidestep, because it's +0. So if they came just jabbing at you, I'd rather probably just like sidestep and down forward 1, or I like to do sidestep into that guy, or sidestep into 4-3-3. So, or like I said, if you, oh no, you can't do that actually. I was gonna say down 4-4, but you can't do that out of right foot forward. You'll get this move, which brings me to this move. That's right foot forward, down 4, and that's a nice, takes a nice chunk of damage. It's like 27, and also gives pretty decent frame advantage. I think it's like +5 or somewhere between like 5 and 7. It's pretty good, but basically this into that is, well, that'll counter hit if they try and hit you after this connects. So that's pretty good. So which brings us to right flamingo back 3. Now this move isn't the easiest thing to catch people with. But if you do catch somebody with it, especially on counter hit, it gives them this awesome stun, which you actually get a free. Okay, so you get a couple of free things. So you can get a free back 3, which I didn't actually do it because it'll show it as a combo. That wasn't it either. There it is. So you can see that's a combo. But actually what I like to do is skyrocket it, just frame skyrocket. Which that takes just those 2 hits, takes 65 damage, you guys saw. Hold on, let's get the whole thing. Screw it up 50 times. Come on. Come on, the internet's watching. Let's do it on this side. There we go. 149. If you can actually get that, you know, if you can actually catch somebody with that move. Well, that's with Christy, but whoever you're playing Hwoarang with, I'm sure you'll have a combo that takes, you know, similar damage. But yeah, 149. That's ridiculous. Now that stun is escapable. You have to hold down, and then the character will just like fall down. But nobody ever does that. Like, nobody ever holds down when they get caught with that, because it's not a stun that people get hit with enough to have that reflex developed to hold down. It's not like when you get a crumple stun and everybody, you know, knows to hold forward. It's like, this is a stun that I think there's only a few characters that actually even give you this stun. I think Nina has something that gives you this stun, like some kick in the face. But basically, that reflex usually isn't there in people, and most of the time if you actually catch people with the counter hit of that, you will catch them with the skyrocket, and it takes 149. Basically, if you just hit them with a couple of pokes, they're dead. So that combo kills. So yeah, I guess some places where you could actually catch people with that, you know, plausibly in real life, while standing 4-4, which I just realized I never talked about, which is a super key move. So sometimes people try and steal while standing after this move connects, and that's one area where that move will counter hit people that are doing that, which I've never have understood that. I mean, like, even a lot of good people do that. Like, they try and while standing you after a connected while standing 4-4, which I guess kind of makes sense, just because if you do, which I do a lot of, is down, right foot forward, down forward 4 after this, and an 11 frame while standing move will trade with that. So, you know, whatever. It's not really an awesome trade, honestly, for the opponent. So I never really understood why people do that, but sometimes people do that. Or I guess they're also trying to catch you because sometimes, you know, people do other things afterwards, like you know, other moves that are slower, maybe like something like that, or maybe they just like, I mean, all sorts of stuff you can do. So maybe they're just thinking that you're going to do something else, but yeah, it's really dangerous to be trying to hit somebody after while standing 4-4 connects. Down 1 is an annoying but actually pretty good option after while standing 4-4 connects, but that's also super dangerous because you can sidestep and back 3. You can also delayed hop kick, which takes a huge amount of life. You can also do that guy. So there's a lot of stuff you can do, but as the Hwoarang player, if you're not thinking and you just like kind of do like a down forward 4, right for 4, down forward 4, then yeah, down 1 will beat that out. A down 1 is the only thing that will straight up beat it. Like I said, an 11 frame while standing move will trade with it. So anyways, yeah, this move, in terms of just like, you know, just walking up to somebody and doing it, like, it's high, so, you know, that's something you do at your own risk. It is really fast. It's like, I think it's like 12 frames. But yeah, it's high, and so I don't know. I haven't really caught. I mean, I have actually caught people with it, just running up to them and doing it, but it's not like a main part of my. You know, that's not like a super effective technique or anything. Just run up and do a high kick to somebody. But yeah, so there's that. Then there's also, like I said, if people are not like really aware of the fact that like, you know, a move, the punch out of Flamingo, just the amount of frame advantage that it has. Like I said, it's +5. So right Flamingo stance 2 is +5 on block. So I guess like guys remember that. Like this is +5 on block. It's connecting right now, which I think is like +8 or 9 or something. A lot of frames. If it actually connects. But on block it's +5. And so I think that what's really good about this is that it doesn't look like a move that has like +5, you know, frame advantage. To put it in context, like Dragunov's while running 2 is somewhere around +5. And you know, like that move puts like this really heavy guard stun on you that you can see, and it's like, holy crap, I better not move because I'm gonna get counter hit. This, you know, that little jab basically puts, I think that Dragunov's while running 2 might do like a few frames, like maybe 6 or 7. But I'm not exactly sure about that, but it's somewhere around there. So this little jab basically is almost the same amount of frame advantage as a move like that. As most moves really that give you guard, I mean that I guess a better thing to say is just it's the same as this. 4-4-3, you see that big guard stun that it puts on him? Well, it's actually the same as that. So they're both +5. So the point being is that this is like the perfect setup for frame traps. So if you do something like that, and then they're like, oh yeah, whatever, that was just a jab, and then like that is gonna be, and they try and hit you, then yeah, that'll hit on counter hit. Or let's actually program that and watch the magic happen. Okay. So I tried to jab. So yeah, you get counter hit every time. So it's good for that. What else? Let's see. Oh yeah. So you got that and that, which is right foot forward, down back 3, and right foot forward, down back 3-3. So this move has actually, I'm not sure if the properties were the same in Tekken 6 or earlier Tekkens, but it's something that I just started using a lot. So it turns out this low is actually safe. Obviously, it's not. I mean, it's not safe from like low parrying, but it's safe in terms of on block. It's only -9, so you can't be retaliated against in terms of like you know, just the fact that they block it. It's totally safe. It's only -9. Also, if this hits on counter hit, then that whole combo is guaranteed. Which takes as you can see, a nice big grip of life. So yeah, that's a really good, I mean, it's pretty quick. It's a pretty quick poke. It's something that if you run up and what do you call it, right foot forward, you can throw that out there. It, you know, it just kind of flows in with a lot of his other stuff. So yeah, really good low poke, and it's safe. Not that one, that's not safe. But yeah, that guy. And I'll actually look this one up. It's plus a decent amount on block. No, not really. It's +0. It's +0 on block. But I mean, that's pretty good. Because, wait, no, that's the wrong move. I'm looking at the wrong move. Okay. So, if it connects, it's +2. Okay, that's better. That's what I thought. So if it connects, it's +2, and on block, it's -9. So it's safe from retaliation, and if it connects, then it's +2. So you can, you can basically keep attacking and do more stuff. So that is a really good low poke out of right foot forward. So another thing to mention is that the down 3 strings of low pokes out of regular stance, down 3-4 and down 3-3, can both be done in right foot forward. So if you're in right foot forward, you can still do those 2 pokes. So right foot forward is a really strong stance, basically. Like I said, you got a lot of really good options when you're in their face in right foot forward. Because basically, let's talk about, basically you can go high and get frame advantage. So if they're standing there, if you just do that, then you got +2. Was it +1, +2? Anyway, it's frame advantage by just jabbing. You can go mid and go straight into flamingo, into right flamingo stance, which is the launching flamingo, where you've got a safe launching option right out of it. You've also got that kick, which wall splats, so it's really good against the wall. That kick is not completely safe though. That's right flamingo stance 4. I think it's just jab punishable. But yeah, so you got a couple of mid options. Oops, not that. I mean, you can do that also. Got that. Which, yeah, I guess that's worth mentioning is that crouch dash stuff, you can do it just as easily in right foot forward. So you can always skyrocket. You got this stomp for a heavy low. You got this for a light, quick, safe low. All down forward. Most of the down forward moves, the down forward punch moves, come out still in right foot forward. And a lot of people don't know this, but if you press down forward in both kicks, he actually does down the regular stance down forward 3. The thing is, and the reason that I don't use this very much is because I haven't been able to put my finger on why sometimes it does down forward, right foot forward, down forward 3. So by pressing, so here I am, I press down forward both kicks and then 4. Okay, totally works. Yep, works. But basically what it seems like to me, what I kind of figured out is that when you do a move that as soon as the move finishes, you're in right foot forward, you can't go straight into that down forward both kicks to do the left foot forward 3. For whatever reason, it does the right foot forward, down forward 3. So let's say if we did this and then that, so I actually pressed down forward both kicks, but it did the right foot forward, down forward 3 move instead of the left foot forward, down forward 3. But if you're in right foot forward, just sort of at rest, and you press down forward in both kicks, then he does the same move as left foot forward, down forward 3. So like I said, because of how sometimes that is, I don't actually really use that very much, but it's there. So anyways, right foot forward, down forward 3. This is basically his right foot forward homing move. It's pretty quick. You get, I don't think that's free actually, but it's very likely that you'll hit him with a forward 3 after that. It might be guaranteed, I'm not sure. But yeah, so this is really good. The main place, I don't ever just just walk up to them and right foot forward and do that move. The main place for the use of this move is when people sidestep while standing 4-4. And all the different things that people tend to do, like I'm just talking about people's tendencies. After after while standing 4-4 connects. After it connects. So some people will do, like I said, they still try and while standing you. I don't think that's very smart, but whatever. Sometimes people do that. And it can connect sometimes if, depending on what depending on what you do as the Hwoarang player. Then other people down 1. So, that's another option. That works a good amount of the time, but you can't be predictable with that. What I say is it's good to just throw that out there every now and then. This is an anti-Hwoarang, I guess, strategy. It's good to throw that out there every now and then, but you can't just do it every single time because you can get really, really punished badly if if I basically predict that you're going to down 1 when you do it. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can sidestep. Now, the thing is, that's, I guess, of the different things that you can do, that's probably the hardest one to do because you have to have really good timing because it takes really precise timing to get that sidestep right because you're at a frame disadvantage because you just got hit. But when you time it correctly, that's actually probably the best, one of the best options because just about every follow-up that Hwoarang has after that while standing 4-4 connects can be sidestepped, except for the down forward 3. So when people are sidestepping, that's a good move to do. You can also do the Widowmaker, right foot forward, 3 tilde 4, or sliding from 3 to 4, which is that behemoth of a kick, which is just like one of those things that I guess every Hwoarang player loves to catch people with, along with just frame skyrocket, because I mean that's Hwoarang's version of like a Phoenix Smasher, I guess, and it will connect if they are doing a slower move or they sidestep and they don't, they just are trying to kind of like get behind you. If they just sidestep really quickly and do a move, then this will be too slow and the move will still catch you, but this will catch them regardless. So that's kind of like the safe bet if you scope that somebody is sidestepping after a while standing 4-4 connects. Like I said, that's like the main place where you're going to use that. I would imagine it would also probably be good like for maybe like for that. But the thing is, the frame advantage on like a forward 2 is more than with while standing 4-4. I think it's only +2 on once it connects, which is kind of sucky, but I guess whatever. But this is like +5, so it's gonna be a lot harder to sidestep after that connects. So yeah, like I said, the main spot is after forward while standing 4-4, because if he didn't have this move, then that move would like, every single person would just be sidestepping after while standing 4-4 connects, because like almost every single thing that you can do afterwards is linear and can be sidestepped. So that's the move to keep him honest after that. Okay, what else? Let's see. We're still in right foot forward. I guess it's worth mentioning that just like a lot of the regular stance moves you can do out of right foot forward. All of the up forward moves can be done out of right foot forward. So all that stuff can still come out just as it normally would. Down forward moves. The punches still come out, so you can be in right foot forward, do down forward 2, down forward 1-2, down forward 1. Not the kicks though. Let's see, what else can I forget anything? Oh man, forgot about that. Okay, so right foot forward 4, which so there's 4-4, 4-3. There's 2-4, which is basically the same thing. 2-4-4, 2-4-3. And so after the 4, you can go, by holding forward, you can go right into right foot forward. Right flamingo stance. And you go into it really fast. So this is another one of those situations where he goes into flamingo really fast, and you can go straight into mix-ups really quickly. So it's really good for pressure, and this is going to be kind of like one of Hwoarang's deadliest little tools and situations. Because of all of this. So yeah, that is really, that's a really good thing. Really good move. If, like I was talking about, so after while standing 4-4, and I was saying that, if somebody tries to while standing you after this move, you can catch them with back 3. Well, the other thing you can catch them with is 4. Also 2-4, but just 4 also. So if somebody tries to hit you after you connect with while standing 4-4, then you can get 4-4, and that will counter hit, which knocks down. And if the first hit connects on counter hit, then both kicks are guaranteed. And it's the same thing with 4-3, which you get a free forward, right foot forward, forward 3, if that connects. So that's that. Oh yeah, right foot forward, forward 3. So this move is really good. It takes a nice chunk of life when it connects. On block, it has some sort of really ridiculous frame advantage, so that basically you can go into whatever, pretty much whatever, if they block it, you can pretty much go into whatever flamingo mix-up you want to, and they won't be able to interrupt that. Let me see. Forward 3 is... +12, okay. Yeah, so it's +12 on block, this kit. And on connect, it's like +23. So, yeah, you can pretty much do whatever. And, you go into left flamingo stance afterwards, and it's basically like instant in terms of what moves you can do afterwards. As you can see, it even shows it as a combo because it does it so quickly. Not that one. Just about all these moves register as combos. So yeah, that's really good. That's not a natural combo. None of those are natural combos, by the way, though. It's just that the moves are, because of how much frame advantage it has, and the speed of the moves coming out, it registers as a combo, but they can block all that. So, okay, so I think that's good for right foot forward. I kind of want to talk about some general strategies, I guess, with Hwoarang. Some kind of just like some fighting tips now. One thing that I wanted to mention that I didn't was that left flamingo stance down forward 3. If they are crouching and that move connects, so if they were ducking and that move connects, then certain moves are guaranteed. So up forward in both kicks is guaranteed, and also that kick that I was showing you, right foot forward, forward 3 is guaranteed after that connects if they were crouching. Because see, the thing is, the main time you're going to use this move is if the opponent crouches after after you go into flamingo, pretty much after jab. So if you could do 2 into left flamingo or 1-2 into left flamingo, and then and then they duck. If you got like a ducker, then you do down forward 3, and you can get all that as a combo. And then if you want to take a chance to get even more life, you want to be a little bit greedy, then you can do that, because obviously that the low hit isn't guaranteed. But if like I said, that's like if you want to take the chance and try and get some non-guaranteed damage, then you can go for that as well, because then that also keeps your string going. Like basically, if you get this, then you guys are kind of just back at neutral, and it's anybody's advantage after that. That's like you just kind of have to take that damage, and now it's like, okay, now let's see what's gonna happen. But if you did, and you got that, then it's like the string keeps going. So that's an option if you want to do that. Okay, so that's that move. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, I haven't gone on to crouch dash stuff yet. So, well, before I get into like the skyrocket, let's do. You got crouch dash. So Hwoarang has, I guess just like a regular forward, neutral, down, forward, crouch dash. He can sidestep out of it. He can cancel it into, forward stuff. Like it's basically like the typical Mishima. It's the same as the Mishima's crouch dash. He can do a wave dash. I don't really use that very much. I mean, I just kind of use like a single crouch dash to close the distance. He can, you can do like low move. I do it for jabs. Can do that move, which I wasn't actually trying to do that. I was going to throw. That's a forward 2-3 throw. So that's good out of a crouch dash. So this is a change actually from Tekken 6. So Hwoarang used to have a throw with forward 2, but they changed that throw to back and 2-3, I think is what it is now. So what that ultimately means is that I never use that throw anymore, but it didn't really matter because I didn't care about that throw anyway. And I definitely would rather have it that crouch dash forward 2 goes into this move, which I like a lot better. So anyway, so that move is crouch dash 3, which on block is I think +0. And so what that ultimately means, and what this move is really good for basically, is basically for a frame trap for that move. Because the thing is, when this move connects, and when this move is blocked, most people's knee-jerk reaction is to try and jab you, because you're right in front of him and you're in flamingo and you kind of look vulnerable. But the thing is, he's not vulnerable, because this move is 8 frames. So this move is fast. This little quick kick like this is faster than a jab. So with this move being +0, this will beat out jabs every single time. So this is uninterruptible by jabs. And this move on counter hit, as I think I've mentioned before, you get a launch. So that move is really good for that. Now, once they catch on to that, and they stop, maybe they start like ducking or whatever, then you can actually start to go into some of the other mix-ups, which this stuff is interruptible, But if they're smart, then eventually they're gonna stop trying to like to jab you out of that. The other option is they could like try and down one you, but that's really dangerous too because you can you got low crushes out of left flamingo stance. So you got that one, which is a launcher, and then you've also got the up forward 3-4 to crush low jabs as well. So and then on connect, that move knocks down, and you get a free down back 4. Oops, I don't know if I covered that one before. I think I did actually. Anyways, if I didn't, that's another low move. On counter hit, knocks down, and you get a free 4-4-3. Right for forward, 4-4-3. That I did not talk about. This move, which is basically one of Hwoarang's main bound moves. Actually, let me change that combo up. So that's a big combo. Big combo bound move is 4-4-3. It's also just a good Okuzemi move for catching people on the ground. People that like to stay on the ground a little bit too long. Yeah, overall, really good move. Does not have, it's safe, but it doesn't give you frame advantage like forward 3 out of left foot forward does. Okay, so yeah, we talked about that. Bam, we get down back boom. That's guaranteed. And about how that has that's an unbreakable combo for high and mid stuff. Okay, so now Skyrocket. So Hwoarang, like I said, one of the kind of moves that separates the men from the boys of Hwoarang is Skyrocket. There is his regular Skyrocket, which is forward, neutral, down, down, forward. Basically the Shoryuken motion. Same one for like electrics and all that stuff in this game. And then there is a Skyrocket, which is forward, down, forward. I, for some reason, can do it better out of right foot forward most of the time. So I just kind of like, what am I trying to say? Habitually go into right foot forward a lot of the times when I'm trying to do it. I mean, I can do it out of left foot forward as well. But it just seems like it comes out better out of right foot forward. Just as I say that, it doesn't come out. But anyways, a lot of people have trouble with this move. I don't really have a whole lot of advice except just keep practicing it. Yeah, it's just don't press down. It's kind of at first it's like hard to break that habit of because you're used to doing that Shoryuken motion, especially if you're like me and you're an old man basically at this point and you've been playing fighting games like your whole life and you've been doing that motion for like years and years and years, and then all of a sudden it's like you're making this kind of like subtle change to it, which is to skip the down. So I can understand how like that can be that can kind of be hard, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like I said, just practice it, and you know, it eventually gets to the point to where it's not very hard at all. It just takes time. Let me think. What else? I guess I kind of want to talk really quickly about some of Hwoarang. I guess just kind of putting together a basic offense with Hwoarang, which for me, what I tend to do is I try and balance things between his strings, Skyrocket, throws, and just kind of like I guess just distancing. So like trying to get people to whiff and then punishing that. Hwoarang can dash backwards. He has all this like dancing around stuff, which I don't use a whole lot of, but I guess my dancing around is kind of like the same stuff that you could do with any Tekken character. It's just like back dashing, crouch dashing into sidestep and stuff like that. But once I've got a little bit of wiggle room between me and the opponent, I do sometimes backdash with jumping back into right foot forward, which you do by pressing back in both kicks. And that is a bigger backdash than just pressing back. So that that can be helpful too. And plus it just puts you in that stance. And also, like I said, I can do skyrocket easier for some reason out of right foot forward. So yeah, there's that. But I guess the theory with, like I said, with Hwoarang's strings is kind of what I was talking about earlier, in that none of it is super safe. Like most of it is actually like really unsafe. Going into Hwoarang's strings, but a big part of playing with him is just observing the tendencies of what your opponent is doing, because the better the player that you're playing against, the, I guess, more random and the more varied their responses are going to be to what you're doing. And the, I guess, scrubbier they are, they're going to probably react the same way to stuff. So you kind of just have to gauge that. Like I said, so if you're going into, blah, blah, you're doing different stuff and whatever, and you notice that the person tends to, not like does it every single time, but has a tendency to down one once you do this. Like once you go into Flamingo, they tend to down one. Then obviously you can't just sit there and just like keep on doing this over and over and like think that it's gonna catch them or whatever. But if you notice that they tend to down one, then it's like, okay, so you should know what all the different things are that you can do against somebody that's like doing down one. So like, for example, so let's say that, I start to, go into Flamingo and I'm doing, different stuff. But as soon as I do it, the person down ones. Like that. Okay, so they're interrupting that. They want to like stop that, and that's what they tend to do. So the things that you're gonna, like I said, the things that you can do for that specific scenario, I'm just using this as an example, but the overall point is that you're gonna want to practice with Hwoarang and study and figure out all of the different things that you can do to basically punish whatever people's tendencies are. So like I said, you could do up forward 3-4, you could do up forward in both kicks, you could just 1-2 and then sidestep, you could do 1-2 and then backdash, you could do 1-2 and then low parry, and there's all these different things that you can do, and you're going to want to vary it up from your end as well, so that they don't basically figure you out, because the whole point is that you're basically trying to fake them out without them figuring out what you're going to do. So you want to know, like I said, all the different things that you can do so that you can mix it up between a lot of those different things to keep them guessing, basically. And I was just using that, like I said, as an example, but it's the same idea if they were, jabbing when you did it, or if they were sidestepping when you did it. So whatever the thing is that they're doing, there's something that Hwoarang can do to combat it. And you're going to want, there's usually multiple things that he can do to combat it. And so you're going to want to know like what those things are, and like, and yeah, like I said, it just basically comes down to like reading your opponent and, mixing it up basically. So yeah, that's that. What was the other thing I wanted to? Oh yeah, combos. I just wanted to demonstrate a few of Hwoarang's combos. So, main launchers are going to be down forward 2, back 3, skyrocket, right foot forward, forward. Oh, I didn't talk about that move. Okay, yeah, right foot forward, forward 4-4 is basically the right foot forward version of back 3. Oh yeah, up forward 3-4. Right flamingo, down forward 4, and right flamingo, back 3. Pretty much from all of these launchers, except for skyrocket. Skyrocket is its own thing. So minus skyrocket, all those other launchers, you know, there's a lot of different stuff that you can do. I basically think that the best option is forward 2, because what that does is it allows you to do this, you know, this beginning of a combo with a bound right there, where you bound and your partner can come in. If you wanted to do, say, like a solo combo, then no, I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can get 2 of them. No, you can only get 1. Okay. So as a solo combo, that's pretty nice. Does pretty decent damage. But the thing is that it also gives you a moment to gauge where the wall is if you want to turn this into a wall combo. So you can get up to 3 of those left flamingo stance 3s, and then you do left flamingo stance up forward 3-4 for a wall carry. And basically, based on where the wall is, you can do as many as you need. So you can do 2. You can just do 1. Or you can do 3. And after you do 3, the 4th one will whip. So you can only do 3. If you just jab right afterwards, you can do 4. And then do it. But the combo doesn't take as much life. So that's 51. And that's 63. So that's quite a bit more, points of damage by adding this kick in there. This kick takes a lot of life in the combo. So, like I said, that doesn't work actually. Yeah. That's actually good. Do that. I'll be able to get 2 of them. But then that'll whip. So yeah, just 1 is better. Oh yeah, they won't work for this. This has its own combos, so it'll work for that one. So yeah, so I think that that's the best option. Now some other options are, I used to do this just because it's really easy. And sometimes I still do that. Like if I catch the opponent at some weird angle, okay, so that'll still connect, because if I catch him at that weird angle, then that's not going to connect. Okay, so if you catch him at a weird angle, then this is better. Just doing like 2-4-2. Let's see some other stuff. That's kind of better if you're close to a wall, because then you can, because it knocks them too far back. It doesn't really work out in the open. So anyway, so those are just some different combo things for just those regular launchers. Right foot forward. Down forward 4. You get this combo. That's the kind of easy one. Even easier, which is the one that I really tend to lean towards. And the reason that I do that combo is just because sometimes just when you catch them with this at like a weird angle, if you're just like kind of far away, then that 2 will whiff. So you just saw that. If I catch them all the way back there, then the 2 will whiff. So if you catch them back there though, oh, hold on. That'll still connect, and that'll still connect. So that'll connect regardless, basically. Harder combo, and like I said, just it can be sometimes with catching them at weird angles. That is to do a quick dash in, standing 4, and then go into that. But the reason that combo is actually good is because then that can convert into a wall combo. So that can be really good for that. So if you catch them pretty straight on and you're pretty confident about it, that's a good option too for that. That's gonna be different for every character, but that's pretty much how that combo goes in terms of the part that Hwoarang does by himself. Yeah, then other than that, we got Skyrocket. There's that. That's the maximum damage one, at least with this pair. And there's the wall option. You can get 3. You can get up to 3 kicks to do a wall carry. Then what else is there? So then, easier version of that is to. Oh, and also, well, I'll do that after this one. So yeah, I mean those are basically a lot of the main options after you connect with a Skyrocket. Well, after you connect with just frame Skyrocket. Now regular Skyrocket, that's I think probably the best option is take a quick step back and then do the 3 tilde 4 or the 3 sliding to 4. So yeah, you can still get a really, a good combo. With that, it doesn't take quite as much life as this guy, but it's a lot easier if you're just starting out, and yeah, it still does a lot of damage. So yeah, I think that that's probably a good introduction into Hwoarang. Hopefully I didn't babble too much, and hopefully this is actually useful to some of you guys so that you can pick up Hwoarang and hopefully go out